go ahead and go into the second segment, which is going to talk about Jokic and his. I'm just going to move you just a little bit. There we go. And so we are low on time. So in the middle of this, like I'll try to bring him back in the segment so that way we can continue talking if he does get cut off by Zoom. So, but with the recent games that just happened, I'm just going to pull up the box scores right now, just to make sure I got the exact information real quick. Just give me a second to do that. Recently, he played the Washington Wizards. I'm going to talk more about that in a later segment, so stay tuned for that. But he recently matched up against the Wizards, and I said they were going to get blown out, and they did. The Nuggets won 130 to 110. Jokic ended the game with 21, 19, and 15, and he didn't miss a shot. Of course, he didn't. This triple double, he now joins LeBron and Russell Westbrook as the only players in NBA history to get a triple-double against every franchise. But technically, like, he's not really in there because, like, he still hasn't gotten one against Denver. But I don't think we really count that because he hasn't played for any other team. So with this and like with his like performance and like his finals run, all of this in mind, like, is it safe to say that Jokic is Mr. Triple-Double now? Because I know that a lot of Westbrook fans are going to get really, really mad whenever anyone else calls anyone Mr. Triple-Double apart from him, because that's sort of like that's sort of what he does, but or what he did do. So, do we think it's fair to give Jokic that crown now as opposed to Russ?
I think if this is a rolling title of Mr. Triple Double as opposed to a legacy type thing, it's fair, right? Because Russ isn't doing it like that anymore. You know, he was, and he was more proficient at it than Jokic is, and that's not on Jokic. I think Jokic could be more proficient at it if he wanted to. You know, he put up. This is the fourth time he's had a triple double with 100% of shooting from the field. That's the most in NBA history. He passed Wilt Chamberlain on that in the last game against the Wizards there, and he just does it so seamlessly. The first player to have 15, 15, 15 on 100% shooting. He broke a lot of records last night. But as far as going out and calling him Mr. Triple Double, of the time right now, absolutely. I agree with that. But if we are going to go whole career wise, he hasn't reached that point yet. I think to be called Mr.
Oh.
Triple Double on your whole career, you have to be the leader in it, right? And he hasn't passed Russell Westbrook yet.
Okay, I
So,
mean, fair, but you also have to take into like consideration like how young Jokic actually is, how quickly he's already been. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he's already like top five, and he's already cracked 100 triple doubles, and he's already so young. On top of the fact that he won a championship while doing it, something that Westbrook couldn't even do, and so I feel like yes, like the totals, like, they do matter, but it's also like just the overall play style and just how easy he just makes it look compared to like how difficult it was for Russ to do it, because obviously like being a point guard and trying to get rebounds over Steven Adams isn't something that's easy unless he's giving them to you, which he did. But what do you think about what are your opinions on Westbrook? Because I feel like I don't really on the podcast I don't really talk about Westbrook much. I respect his hustle and I respect his heart, but his play style is just something that I cannot back. That's
right.
so.
Um,
What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, so Russell Westbrook, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm gonna start this off with that. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I talked a little bit about it. I did a segment about recency bias, and there was Russell Westbrook is one of those players that has been kind of hurt by recency bias. He went through a stretch where he kind of fell off a cliff because he was aging and he wasn't able to do the same things he had done, and people started, you know, not respecting his legacy and career. But he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. His play style, I get it. Not my favorite either. It's kind of ball hoggy, give me all the counting stats. Um, and it's not super, it doesn't always seem super conducive to a team, which is probably why he, has never won that title. He never won that title when he was doing it. But as opposed to a guy like Jokic, like you were saying, he won a title and it's so easy just because all time Jokic is a better player. Like all this stuff comes easy to him. So you kind of summarized it great. His hustle, his determination, how hard he plays, it's super admirable and super fun to watch. But there's also it leads to a lot of issues sometimes. He wants to play hero ball when it's not always in the team's best interest to do that.
I don't think it's hero ball. I just think his his shot selection and shot IQ is just what the heck sometimes. And sometimes his decision making there too, but it's like I get it, like you have the ball all the time, you're going to like make bad decisions here and there, but it's just Jokic has the ball all the time and I don't see him do that.
Well,
So
Jokic is a special player. His basketball IQ and what he can do so effortlessly is something that, quite honestly, I've never seen on a basketball court before.
So, do you think he'd end his career as Mr. Triple Double? That might be a better question.
Yes, absolutely. I think he will. You talked about how much time he has left, how young he still is, and how fast he's climbing up those ranks. He absolutely will end his career as Mr. Triple Double. I have no doubt in my mind about that. But giving him the title right now just seems a little quick. Like if we're talking right, if it like I said, if it's a rolling title, like it has to be somebody at all times. It's absolutely him right now. But as opposed for a nickname for your whole career, he's not quite there in my opinion. But he will get there, no doubt.
I feel like a lot of people do this, and like I really don't understand why they do this. They do this a lot in the NFL as well. How they don't want to give people the title, like in air quotes, because they want to wait and see. And I'm like, what more do you have to see? He's already proven it, and all he has to do is just do it a few more years. He's already done it as many times as he's done it before. So I don't agree with that, like with that statement whatsoever. Just because like we know he's going to do it. It's just if it's only a matter of time, then what are we waiting for?
We're
Like
waiting to see.
go ahead.
I get what you're saying, and it's a fair point. But sports is very fickle, right? That's one of the things that makes us love it so much. It's so unpredictable, and we never know what's going to happen. I never want to do analysis based on injury or any crazy thing that could happen in someone's career. Jokic is the kind of guy that if he could retire tomorrow and it wouldn't surprise me. If I'm being honest. By the
way, Zoom might kick you out in like a minute, just letting you know.
Yeah. But
I'll fix that.
this is why I'm talking about waiting to see, because anything could happen. It's so fickle with sports and everything around it. Injury, accident, retirement, anything could happen with Jokic at any moment. So you have to respect what people did before you. This is why I'm a little hesitant to give him the title, because you have to respect the people that came before you and not just be ready to move on like that.
I mean, I sort of see like that side of the argument too, and I'm pretty sure Zoom is going to kick you out in like 3, 2, 1. No, it didn't. Okay, but it's going to kick you out pretty soon. So like I'm just gonna like wait it. I'm just gonna wait it out like for a little bit and then like start it up again, because I don't want to go into my point like without like having your opinion. There we go. He finally got kicked out. So I'm just going to go ahead and start up a new meeting, and I'm going to send him an email and get him right back in here. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Don't mind me. But other than that, yeah, like the point still stands. Like I personally think that like despite the fact that he already has that like he still needs time, like he's already proven himself. And it's like, again, I understand the injury part of that sort of thing and whatnot, but there's also like just so many other aspects that already have him as like the MVP, like the Mr. Triple Double in my personal opinion, like literally off the bat, just because of like his play style, just how easy it is, how much simpler he makes the game, and how, like, again, the fact that he was able to win a championship while doing these triple doubles and like without needing to change his play style. So I feel like the fact that I'm gonna let Jeremy know that actually once he joins back in. Just give me 1 second. Just letting him know that I sent him another link to go ahead and join the Zoom. Just because you just love it. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to fix this real quick because now I can't see your face even though like you're right here and you're fine. Hold on 1 second. Because now I can't. There we go.
All right.
Nah, hold on. So it's still. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get rid of it here, and then I'm just gonna add it back again real quick. Hold on.
Yep, sounds good.
It's literally it's such a hassle. This is why we need Zoom Premium now.
They'll splurge on it soon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, now it's not capturing what it needs to capture, and I'm really, really, really upset that it's doing that now.
Yeah. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna send you a picture of me, and you can just put that in there, so you have a face to put in there.
That is so hilarious. But yeah, no, I hate this so much. This is like but regardless, like they could still hear you. So if you wanna like what I was talking about like before was that Jokic, I feel like giving him the title already is like it's like you might as well, just because like I understand like the whole injury aspect of that thing, and like you don't want to get the player injured like so quickly, but it's like again like or like you don't want to like assume that like his career is going to end quickly due to injury, but at the same time like again it's like why are we thinking that he's going to get injured when he hasn't even been like brutally injured like that?
Right, and that's a very good point. My point there was more you never know what's going to happen. Like you just have no idea how it's gonna work. What could happen tomorrow? What could happen a year from now? I pulled up the numbers here. He's still 121 to 198. So he's still like 70. He's still almost 80 triple doubles behind Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook is still active. He isn't doing it like he used to, but he's still, he still can get a couple more, get to 200.
Do you think that like do you think that he'll like be able to like keep that, or do you think that Jokic is going to end up passing him while Russ is still playing?
I don't. Well, how long? Let me flip this back on you. How long do you think Russ has left in the tank? Because
that's a good question. I personally think Russ has. I mean, depending on his whether like because he's very open to like adapting like the role like and like any type of role that like fits any type of system that he want like that would help the team, right? So I feel like I feel like he could have a pretty long career given how he can like he doesn't mind playing the bench, and he wouldn't mind like fulfilling any type of role that the rest of like the team would need. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as he still plays, I don't know. I'll give it 70. Let's say he gets it. What is he? He averages a triple double every other game. Yeah.
Russ or Jokic.
Jokic.
He gets one. He gets one like every other game. Yes, it's like it's either that or he's like one assist or like one rebound off.
So he'll hit 200 just about in 2 seasons. Now Russ will probably get a couple more by then. But no, I think he will pass Russell Westbrook while he's still active, as long as he plays. If he plays 3 seasons, he'll pass him. I think that's all it's going to take.
Interesting. All right. So since the Zoom and like we're having problems with it, like I'm gonna go ahead and just stop this segment here where we're at like right now. And we are a little bit low on time given how like all the problems and stuff like that. So, but thank you for tuning in, even though Zoom completely wrecked us and
Of
just
course.
just wanted to ruin everything. So that's
Well, thank you for
fantastic.
having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on the show. I had a lot of fun. He's got a lot of good stuff coming up, so stay tuned.
All right. Why don't you promote yourself? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you can check out my show 5 o'clock Monday to Friday. We're gonna cover a lot of good things. We'll probably talk a little bit about some of this stuff. I had a little Jokic segment as well, so I'll use some of this stuff that we talked about in there, and then we'll talk. So I've been doing a baseball series, breaking down some stuff, and then some breaking NFL news and a little bit of hockey maybe. So tune in. I got a good show for you guys today.
All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you later. Well, I'll see you later, but they won't. We'll see. We'll see if we can get you on this show again. But
Yes, sir.
you have a good one.
Yep, you too, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. There we go. So Zoom obviously like completely wrecked me in the second segment, but now I mean. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about those first two segments and whether or not you'd like having more people on the show and having more people able to do this. And hopefully, I can get Zoom Premium so that way I don't have to worry about all this problems with like the Zoom meetings being a little bit too long because it's very unfortunate. Like they really put premium on Zoom. Like they had to do that. But yeah, so obviously he had a lot to say about Jokic and Mr. Triple Double, and I still have like considerable amount of things like that I want to say about Mr. Triple Double and like how I feel like Russ was like I feel like Russ is sort of a bit of again like we mentioned earlier, he's a wild card, but at the same time he's like his play style, it seems that it's sort of forced. Like these triple doubles, they don't come natural. He looks for them, and I feel like that should I feel like that should like take away from the fact that he's Mr. Triple Double, because when you're like Mr. Triple Double, it sounds like you actively get these triple doubles like it ain't no thing, and even while like Russ was getting these triple doubles like it ain't no thing, it was still relatively difficult given how he was a guard and how he needed to. He's the best rebounding guard in NBA history without a doubt. But again, it's like it wasn't that easy to him because of his height difference. And so because of that, he has to like hurry up and crash down there, get into the paint and box out so he can get the rebounds. The thing about that is being a perimeter player, that means you're leaving somebody open. And leaving somebody open in today's NBA is not ideal, especially at the guard position, which are relatively like the best shooters on the team. So with that in mind, like his play style trying to get rebounds, like it might look good on the stat sheet, but it actually like it hurts the team. Whereas opposed to Jokic's rebounds, they don't hurt the team because he's a center and like he plays paint and he easily just gets rebounds because he's already down there. That's his job. And we talked about the assists, how or like the passing and how his decision making isn't as good as Jokic. Jokic has a tendency to protect the ball and to play at his own pace. He moves a lot slower than Russ. Like anybody can see that Russ is faster than Jokic and much more athletic than Jokic. So Russ's play style being super fast paced, it requires him to make decisions relatively quickly. It also requires him to like make passes that are like really quick and really difficult. So and if you add on to the fact that now he doesn't draw in as many double teams as he used to, it's not entirely easy to like make a quick pass. And there would be moments where it's like he's forcing the pass when it's just like, why don't you score the ball? What's wrong with you? And I don't understand like why he does it sometimes. And when you end the game with a lot of turnovers as well as ending the game with a lot of assists, you're doing more harm to your team than you're doing good. And because, like, I mean, yes, you got 10 or 11 assists, but on the other end, you gave them the ball like 7 or 8 times. Like, I don't really think that. Well, whereas Jokic, like, he would dish out 10 assists and he would end the game with like 1 turnover or maybe like 2 turnovers, which is incredibly efficient. And the efficiency and like just the overall fact that he makes it look easy is just why I believe that Jokic is Mr. Triple-Double. But with that, we are definitely out of time for the second segment. So we are going to go into the third segment where I give a quick NBA recap because NBA Recap is finally back. So stay tuned for that after this short break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your